welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Ocholocojr YT, and today we are going to review a full review of Wrestlemania 37. Oh boy, a lot to unpack here because this show for me was a really good show, a really great show, and a really nice way to bring the fans back. Just so good, you know? I will say though, night 1, in my opinion, was way better than night 2. And I feel like and now we wait because, well, first off, the show started 30 minutes late because of a rain delay that happened. And that's always fun. Maybe it's, maybe it was just some sort of bad luck or something. But it was a rain delay. Let's start off the show. Vince McMahon welcoming all the fans back to Wrestlemania. That's a terrible accent. That was a terrible accent. But yeah, it was a great way for the superstars. All the superstars were like on the stage, and the crowd was just hyped. And there was pyro, and there was like 2 planes flying over. Really good and a really energetic way to bring back the fans. And before we start, America the Beautiful is performed by Bebe Rexha. Hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But other than that, let us get into this show right away. Alright, first match of the night, we have Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship as the first match of the night. I don't really have a lot to say about this match. Only problem for me is that, well, there were a few problems for me in this match. One, if it was for the WWE Championship, couldn't it be like somewhere near like the end of the card? Like, because the Raw, even though the SmackDown Women's Championship match was good, and it should be the main event, it was really good. I feel like it should have been somewhere like in between the end, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's talk about the actual match itself, which was great. It was a fun way to bring everyone back, and the pyro and the entrances were just super good, and it's really fun and cool. But anyway, let's go on to the actual match itself. Of course, we got to start off this. Oh, the match was really, really great, and a whole lot of really cool too. To see just be back there and looking at the fans just getting all energetic and excited when Drew like tries to go for a claymore and such. It's great. The one issue I had with this match was the finish. MVP was, I believe, said something. Drew turned away for 1 second, and then when he goes to try hits for the claymore, he fails. Bobby Lashley locks in the Hurt Lock. He passes out. And Bobby Lashley is still champion. I thought this was an okay match. Nothing really to write home about, but still a really great opener. Even though I feel like another match that you will see later on this card, I feel like that should have been the opener. But this opener was really cool regardless. And yeah, it was a great opening match. So I'm going to give this match 4.5 stars. Really a cool match. Nothing really, 4.5 stars. Really cool match. Nothing really to write home about. But still, a good match and a great way to open up WrestleMania. Alright, next up we have the Tag Team Turmoil. Try saying that 5 times fast. Tag Team Turmoil, Tag Team Turmoil, Tag Team Turmoil. Actually, that's not that hard. Maybe we can get some bars up in here. Anyway, alright, let's start it off with Lana and Naomi become the first participants to enter. Billie Kay and Carmella come in. I don't really know why they call it a Tag Team Turmoil match. It was basically just a gauntlet elimination tag team match. But, you gotta make some room in for a fancy words, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, the match starts. Nothing really, again, to say no. this was a really fast match is what I'm going to say about it. It was like really fast and really good. Like it, and that's something that you don't really see with a lot of women's matches often today. Sure, there are some fast ones out there and some really good ones, but none of them really go that fast. And I don't know why. For me, it was just like really fast paced and amazing. So yeah, first off, Lana and Naomi get first eliminated after Billie Kay goes for the pin, and Carmella helps her by pulling her through the rope, like putting her legs through the ropes or something. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, they get the pin, and Lana and Naomi are eliminated. All right, next up we have the Riott Squad, who come in next in the match, and again, not really much to write about. Not really much to write about, other than I feel like this was pretty good for a Riott Squad match for me. I believe Ruby went for the pin, and yeah, Carmella and Billie Kay are eliminated. I really hope they don't break. I really hope they have something else for Billie Kay to do, cause it's just felt kind of you know. For she's not really doing much on I believe SmackDown, or is it Raw? I don't know, either two of those shows, cause her current gimmick right now is just showing people a photo of her with her resume on it. Okay, that's great. Whatever. Anyway, next up is Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. Nothing really much to say about this one, other than we see a little botch and see how the rain has taken its toll while Mandy slips like the ramp. She slips and like lands there, and yeah, it was not very fun, but at least she goes on with the match and walks it off. True champ right there. The match continues, and then they get eliminated by the Riott Squad. It was okay again. Good. Next up, we have Tamina and Natalya, who obviously for me, they really shouldn't have won this match in my opinion. Like, they're good wrestlers, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the win should have gone to the Riott Squad, because I would have actually wanted to see their like fast-paced tag style between Nia and Shayna's like strength. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, nothing really much here to note about. Then the match continues, and Tamina hits the Snuka Splash. Is that what it's called? Snuka Splash? Okay. Sorry. To win, and Natalya and Tamina will now go on to fight Shayna and Nia for the women's tag team titles. I'm gonna give this match I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It did have a little bit of botches here and there, but other than that, it was a really good match, and it was very fast paced. I did feel like the winner should have been the Riott Squad, but still, a really great match. Next up, we have Cesaro and Seth Rollins. Alright, so Seth makes his entrance, and again, the rain has taken its toll, because guess what? He has like these little fire stick things on his like the ramp. I don't know how to call them, and only 4 go off. Like there's 4 on each. There's like I think 5 or 4 on each side, and only I don't remember how many there were. And then we have Cesaro that comes out, doesn't screw up his entrance or anything. So let's get on with the match. The match is really, really good. Really good. Some memorable spots include Cesaro swinging Seth 23 times, Seth doing a 350 splash, and of course, the airplane spin with no hands. Look, Ma, no hands. Anyway, that is a very old joke. But yeah, Cesaro ends up winning, and it is just really good. This is the first singles match for Cesaro on a WrestleMania stage, and it's really good. Nothing really much to say about it, and yeah, it's really great match, and it just shows how much WWE needs to push Cesaro. I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. Really great match. It's really fast paced, even though it did have, even though it wasn't the opener. Yeah, I felt like this match should have been the opener though, and Drew and Bobby Lashley uh, should have been like somewhere around the card. But still, really great match. Definitely recommend it. Next up, we have AJ Styles and Omas versus The New Day. Alright, so this match for me was your standard squash match for a giant. There is AJ Styles and Omos. Now, if you see during AJ's entrance, he sort of like he almost slips, but then catches himself. That's why I think you might see it like he almost slips, but then like makes this like little weird pose. I don't really know how you call it, but yeah, nothing really much to say about this match either. He's trying to tag in Omos, but New Day is not going to let him because they know they're screwed. It's included some really funny spots, and even though New Day were trying to get over as these like little, like this like tag team that doesn't take anything very seriously or anything, I think that's what they were trying to do. It's a little bit tired comedy, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, nothing really much to say here about this match, and it was, I believe, supposed to get over Omos as this very huge dude who could fight, and I will say, it did its job, you know. Kofi and Xavier sold well. Omos gets the pin, and we have new Raw Tag Team Champions. AJ Styles and Omos, and AJ, I believe, is now a Triple Crown champion. And yeah, nothing really much more to say about this match. 3.5 stars. Like, it was an okay match, but for me, it just felt more. I felt like it would have been a whole lot better if like the Hurt Business could have been in there, because like since Cedric is really good at like selling, and so is Shelton, I feel like they could have done something with like that, because the whole New Day as a champions again really isn't all that great, but still an okay match. All right, next up is Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Yep. So first up, Shane makes his entrance, and I don't know why, but I always laugh when he does that like stupid dance thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's dumb and I love it. Yeah. All right, Shane enters the cage, and then Strowman enters, and then again the crowd is crazy. It's energetic and it's awesome. So yeah, Strowman. So yeah, as Strowman makes his entrance, he gets jumped by Jackson Riker and Elias. It's kind of weird for me why these two are here. Like, I didn't really know or understand why they had to be here. Uh, Other than the fact that it really didn't lead to much because well, ja- because Jackson Jackson Riker and Elias didn't really appear again during the show. So yeah, well they did, but they just sort of got out. Anyway, so Shane keeps dominating the match after Strowman gets laid out with a steel chair to the legs, and Shane McMahon keeps him down. But that's not but when Shane finally tries to escape, he gets assistance from Elias and Riker, who climb on the cage and try to help him out. But Strowman body checks the fence that they're climbing, and they both fall down the cage, and they both fall down. Yeah, but then Strowman tries to go for McMahon again, but then McMahon has like a toolbox, which like you see around the ring. They're like these little inflatable bags. Is that what they're called? I don't know what they're called, but he like puts a toolbox to Shane to Strowman's head, and as Shane tries to escape, they do two of my favorite spots in the match. Is that like Strowman tries to like rip apart the fence that Shane is trying to escape from. He rips apart the fence. He like drags Shane back inside, and then as he drags him back inside, he like puts him on top of the cage, and then just throws him off. Like, no, well, back in the ring, and Shane does like this little somersault. It's awesome. And then Strowman goes back down from the cage, running power slam, 1, 2, 3. Other than that, nothing really much to say about this match. It was a great match, and again, 4 stars, just an awesome match. I didn't really know why Elias and Jackson Riker were there. I really just kind of was meh to the match, you know? But still, a great match and a great like 2 spots. Up next, we have Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. This is probably one of the most hype. Well, for me, I was kind of curious for this match because I did hear that Bad Bunny did train for 4 months in the Performance Center. Well, I think it was 4 months, but I was kind of curious to see how he would perform. And yeah, nothing really much to say about it. Video package was great, and the entrances. So first off, Miz and Morrison sing "Hey Hey Hop Hop," a really catchy tune. Like, there was one moment that I couldn't get that song out of my head. I would play it, but copyright reasons, I don't want to. And yeah, anyway, and then Bad Bunny makes his entrance. Again, a really cool WrestleMania entrance. With Bad Bunny on top of the truck that was in his Booker T music video, I believe. And yeah, Booker T is also commentating the match, which is cool. Anyway, let's get the match underway. And again, Damian Priest is about to start out. Miz starts out, but of course, Miz asks for Bunny instead of Priest. Damian tags in Bad Bunny, and I don't even know what to say. I guess all that training really paid off in the end because the match was really, really good for me, and it was probably one of my favorite celebrity matches, because most celebrity matches for me that I've seen, they mostly just have the celebrity enter in at the last second, but Bunny did dedicate himself to those 4 months of training in the Performance Center, and it pretty much showed. And he also delivered a Canadian Destroyer on the mat, which was also really cool. But it was really great. He ends up getting the pin, and yeah, it's definitely one of the best celebrity matches ever to happen in WWE history. Better than Lawrence Taylor, you heard me. So yeah, before you put all the comments there. Anyway, 4 stars. Just a great match, and I really hope Bad Bunny actually performs more in the WWE, because it's really cool to him. You can really see that he has been a fan of the WWE for a while. So yeah, dude, get that paycheck. All right, main event of night 1. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, the SmackDown Women's Championship. So yeah, Bianca makes her entrance, Sasha makes hers. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the match that most people have been waiting for. I didn't really care much about the match because, like I said, the build was really overwhelming. Yeah. So let's go. The match is really good, and one of the memorable moments for me was when Bianca at the end of the match whips her hair right near Sasha, and it leaves like this gash, like this really big gash. Ugh. And yeah, it's not really more to say about this match, you know. Bianca goes for the KOD, and she is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Just a great, probably one of, I would probably say it's the second best women's match that I've ever seen, because the first one for me was Trish Stratus versus Lita on that episode of Raw, and it was really good and such. So yeah, just amazing match, and 5 stars. Like, there's nothing else I could say about this match that hasn't already been said. An amazing match. Alright, so night one as a whole, is it a good thumbs up or a thumbs down? Well, I definitely, or is it in the middle, just an okay and shouldn't, I will give night one a thumbs up. It is a really great night show, and I definitely do recommend you check it out, because like I said, night one was really amazing, and the fans were just like into it. Alright, night 2 of Mania begins. Alright, night 2 begins with America the Beautiful being performed by Ashlyn Kraft. Hope I said your name right. I am sorry. Alright, so we are going to kick things off with Randy Orton versus The Fiend. This match was just interesting is all I'm going to say for it. Because this match for me did not work for just a lot of reasons, and I'm not gonna... There's that red lighting again, which, oh my dear lord, do they not learn? You can't see in red lighting. Just come on. So yeah, nothing really again to talk about this match. Again, the burial of the Fiend. So the Fiend is about to hit Orton with his sister Abigail. But then, for some reason, Bliss comes out with just like sitting on top of the box, and just she's wearing a crown, I guess. I don't know what it is, to be honest, or a hat or something. And there's like black ooze coming out. Okay. And then apparently the Fiend just stares at Alexa, and then Randy Orton uses that to just hit him with the RKO and wins the match. Again, it's not really going to be explained until Raw, and this is being filmed after night 2, so I haven't seen Raw yet, and I don't know if they're ever going to explain it. Hopefully they do, because I didn't really understand the match. It was a little bit weird, and it was just just more squashing of the Fiend. 2 stars for this match. It was okay, but it was nothing to write home about. There are definitely worse matches out there, but still, Alright, next we have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Tamina and Natalya for the women's tag team titles after winning the turmoil match. Is tag team turmoil? Is that how you say it? No. Anyway, let's continue with this match. Again, nothing really to write home about. I feel like the match was a wee bit okay, but again, they Nia and Shayna just won the match, and that was just pretty much the end of it. It was an okay match, 4.5 stars. It was a really okay match, and yeah, nothing really much to say about it. Next up, we have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, with Sami's guest of honor, Logan Paul. Anyway, Logan really doesn't do much of notice, and KO did deliver a great match with Sami Zayn. Like, Sami does a lot of cool moves too, and then there's the closing spot. KO hits the flippin' stunner and takes out Sami for for the 3 count. Really great match, and it just shows how much these guys can deliver. This just shows, like, even back in NXT, these guys were great, and it just still shows that these two can deliver a great match. Too bad Sami is being thrown out as a conspiracy theorist for some reason. Okay. But yeah. And also KO is just... And also the closing spot where Logan just shoves Sami. The crowd was the crowd was really into it when Logan got stunned. And for me, I was just like, yes, finally, something I wanted to do since I was a kid. Even though I only know who Logan was when I was only 12. But still doesn't matter. I finally wanted to see him get stunned. But yeah, a great match. And 4 stars, you know? Great match. Next up, we have Sheamus and Riddle for the United States title. Again, this was kind of a scary match because there were two things that kind of scared me about the match. Was that when Sheamus was going for like the back, I don't remember what it's called, but like he holds him, he like falls off the top rope, and then luckily Riddle didn't get concussed or injured, and they did end up performing the move, but it was kind of just more There were a little bit botches, and yeah. Nothing really much to say. Oh, and then there was that, but the closing spot was just, it was just painful to look at when Sheamus hits a broad kick while Riddle's going for like a moonsault. Just hurts. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus is your new United States champion. And this is when it really sucked for me, because I wanted to see what more Riddle could do with the belt. Since Sheamus was already a 2-time United States champion, the wrong person did win, but other than that, the match was amazing, and that blood mouth thing, that must have hurt. But still, I'm gonna give this match a really good, really great 4 stars, because, you know, it was a really good match. It is time for Apollo Crews versus Big E for the Intercontinental Championship in a Nigerian drum fight. It was basically an Extreme Rules match. And I will say, though, I really do love Apollo's new gimmick as like a Nigerian royalty gimmick, which really worked out for him and really did great for his heel turn. Again, overwhelmed. Yeah, the match again was good. I'm not going to say it was amazing or anything, because it kind of was a little bit blah at times. But it did also introduce a new superstar, Dabakato, now dressed up as like a bodyguard. So I guess Apollo now has a bodyguard. So he has now we have an Omas for SmackDown. Yay. Anyway, Apollo and Big E did actually deliver a really good match. What I'm kind of confused about was why didn't any of them use the drums if it was called a Nigerian drum fight? That was the one thing that really confused me. I was genuinely confused as why they didn't use any of the drums, but other than that, it was an okay match. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Okay match, but nothing really to write home about. And Apollo Crews is your new Intercontinental Champion. After being laid out with a choke slam, Big E couldn't move anymore, and Apollo went for the pin. So, yeah. Alright, next up on the card, we have Rhea Ripley and Asuka for the Raw Women's title. Nothing again to say about this other than it was a great match, a really great match. Again, it's really good when it's like smaller guys selling for bigger guys, and this was pretty much the case for Rhea. And they did do the great decision of making her the new Raw Women's Champion. It was just great, and yeah, again, this match was really great. and the Riptide was awesome. So even though it did have a few little moments here and there that that felt a little bit rough to me, it was still a great match. 4 stars, really great. And now it is time for the match that I have been waiting for and that I was hyped for. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. Bryan makes his entrance. Edge made his entrance, and I will say I do love like that new white attire that he had, which was really good. And Roman makes his entrance. Again, the crowd was just into it. It was amazing. The only complaint I do have about the match was that Jey Uso kept interfering. And I didn't really like that part. I know, I understand Roman's a heel and everything, and this was supposed to get over Jey as also a heel, but it didn't really do a lot for me. And although a lot of people disagree with Roman winning again the Universal title, retaining, I did enjoy it because, again, they're building up Roman as like this unstoppable monster. And Edge and Daniel Bryan also have great moments there. Edge, some of the memorable moments include Edge like choking out Roman with like a piece of chair, and Daniel Bryan just joining him, even though, so yeah. And it was just like so tense, like you thought Edge was finally gonna win, but Bryan kept screwing him over, and that was just good. Roman power bombs Bryan onto the announce table, and Edge just like spears him off the steps. Great. It's just an amazing match, and it's just so good, you know. You're into it. The crowd is just going nuts, hoping will Edge or Bryan do it, but in the end, Roman retains after Edge lays out Bryan with a concerto. Edge gets super kicked by Jey. Jey gets killed, and Roman murders Edge. And yeah, an amazing match. Again, it was a little bit overwhelming with Jey interfering, so I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. What a great way to close out WrestleMania. And yep, that was my whole review of WrestleMania. And after watching it, is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Well, night 2 is a thumbs down. It was kind of meh, you know. And after seeing night 1, which was like a party and everyone was into it, definitely up. I'm really glad that next year's WrestleManias, they're just going to make them a one-night show, which I think they should, because, you know, for me, WrestleMania should be like this big show that you remember forever, not like split into 2 nights. But other than that, it's a really good show. So out of the entire show, I'm going to give it a good old thumbs up. Definitely check out the show. And yeah. So, thank you so much for watching my review of WrestleMania 37. Share me your opinions on what was your favorite match. And also make sure to comment, and make sure to also like this video. Hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all in the next one.